Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? My man Ken from The Ugly Truth is in the house. So I got 3 pieces of news for you. Okay? 3. Number 1, you can see the Yankees are officially promoting Cam Schlittler. He's going to start tomorrow in place of Clark Schmidt, who's going to have Tommy John. Now, the corresponding roster move hasn't happened yet. But that will happen because he hasn't been placed on the 40. He's got to come up to the 40 and then on to the 26. So a roster move has yet to be made. And Alan Winans, his 15-day period after being optioned out hasn't been fully materialized yet. So a different roster move is going to happen. Hello, Jennifer. So another roster move is going to take place before he pitches tomorrow. I'll get that out to you once that happens. So, but he's the guy, the highly touted Yankees prospect who has a lot of this lights out stuff, right? He's got bigger out stuff than Alan Winans. He's the guy that most of us are more excited about. So we'll get a chance to see what he's like tomorrow against probably a good fit of a team here. I mean, their pitching is better than their hitting in Seattle, but you never know. You never know. Hey, C. Devo, what's happening? That's piece of news number 1. Piece of news number 2, Aaron Boone has confirmed that Luis Hill is officially starting his rehab assignment Sunday. So now the time clock is officially starting on Luis Hill to come back to the rotation. Okay? Now, I'm guessing they're going to try to add a starting pitcher before the deadline, right? We know this already. And who we don't know yet. But Luis Hill coming back can give them some options, right? Shout out to the chat. You could either keep Cam Schlittler in the rotation and move Luis Hill to the bullpen, or the other way around. But it gives them a little bit of options. Okay, and the third piece of news is they officially announced Jazz Chisholm is moving back to second officially. So maybe this means they're actually going to make a trade for a third baseman in the near future. So that's piece of news number 3. Now that they're officially moving him, keeping him at second where he belongs, it's either going to be DJ LeMahieu or Oswald Peraza at third, or a trade piece. And maybe this is a prelude to a trade, this Jazz Chisholm positional change. You never know. We might get news later on that they made a trade. We don't know, right? So you might be right, Bryce. Ryan McMahon and Brian Hayes are the 2 names that I think we're thinking about most. Are probably the easier ones to get. You know, people are talking about Ryan McMahon's strikeout rate and so on and so forth, but he's also in position to hit 20 home runs for, I think, his 7th consecutive year. So there's production there, okay? But he's also a good defensive player. And now, Brian Hayes, for those that don't know, he's number 1 in baseball, in MLB, with defensive runs saved at third base. Number 1. So that type of move really solidifies the defense at second and third, right? And gives protection. And the fact is, Anthony Volpe, who's not moving from the shortstop, we know this, needs as much protection on both sides as possible, particularly when he makes moves that aren't considered sensible moves. And it's easier said than done. You make a diving catch, you throw, you could be off balance. When you throw, there could be a wild throw. You just don't know. But he endures so much trash right now and hate from folks that a welcome move would be to move the Jazz second and bring in a good third baseman to help him, right? So we don't know who that's going to be. But I'm confident when I say the people who are trashing on Anthony Volpe right now will be the same people that trash on George Lombard if he comes up and doesn't play well. Okay? So, and to Ken's point too, the Yankees recently signed Jeimer Candelario, whatever his name is, Jeimer Candelario, to a minor league deal. He's not on the 40-man either, but he could also be a stopgap as well. He's a switch hitter. He's a good defender. It's a good point too, Ken. Thank you. Okay. He could also be a stopgap guy. He's probably an upgrade over Oswald Peraza and DJ LeMahieu at this point. And maybe this also is a sign that the Yankees are going to keep with that July 31st deadline that they put on DJ LeMahieu, which is also the trade deadline. Now, Candelario is probably not the guy that everybody wants, but I have a feeling they're going to go after probably like Brian Hayes or Ryan McMahon and trying to do a multiplayer trade with them because they need bullpen arms. We know this already. They need a starting pitcher. We know this already too. So we'll see what they do. And we'll see if Candelario becomes a starter or a platoon. We don't know what they're going to do. Right? So Boone announced that Peraza will play third. Okay. Which puts DJ on the bench, which I get. If you want to, they're both good gloves, but Peraza has more mobility on the field than DJ does. He can move better. Neither one of them is a flattering hitter. So my guess is Ryan McMahon's non-court. They're not as bad as people think, but they're not. And again, we wouldn't need Ryan. So this is the other thing with Ryan McMahon. He wouldn't come here to bat second or third. Okay, where would he be? Where he bats in Colorado is not where he'd be batting here. So, and that's the thing too. There's so much being put forth as, yeah, he would bat 6 to 9. So much is being put forth. Well, he doesn't really do anything outside of Coors Field, and so on. Right? I'm doing it right out. My video's blurry. I don't know. You guys seeing blurry too? I mean, I'm right. This is right out of my laptop. Right out of my laptop. So, don't know, Steve. He is a great clubhouse guy too, and that's the thing too. The fit here, right? Candelario is also known as a good clubhouse guy. So these are the options right now. I don't look blurry. Thank you. I didn't think I looked blurry either. I can't see myself blurry either. So Beagle, what's happening? And shout out to everybody in the chat. So for those that don't know, piece of news number 1: Cam Schlittler is making his debut tomorrow. Piece of news number 2: Luis Hill is officially starting his rehab assignment Sunday. The time clock now starts for him to come back officially. And piece of news number 3: Jazz Chisholm is officially moving back to second, staying there. Okay. Well, we don't know, Jason. And here's the, all right. So this. I'm glad you brought that up, Jennifer. There's an argument to be made for Jason Dominguez hitting first, right? But what does he have? A hot bat or hot legs? Why do I say that? 7, 8, 9 in this lineup is not really good. The Mets have a better 7, 8, 9 than the Yankees do. They made that clear. The Dodgers had a better 7, 8, 9 than the Yankees did in the World Series. So is Jason Dominguez driving in anybody with regularity in the 7, 8, 9 spots? No. So the argument also can be made putting him behind Aaron Judge and letting him drive in more people. Right? So there's arguments to both sides. And again, what, should he be in this? I know there's a lot of complaints about the lineups and all that stuff. And the fact is they don't have the personnel that they need right now, the guys that they're looking to trade for, the bat, to put them in a position to have a consistent lineup. Right? So, again, bantering with Boone. What did John Boy do with Boone now? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Peraza could be trade. I think he is trade bait, right? And it really depends. Who do the Yankees bring in the infield? Because if they bring in an infielder in trade, they're going to move out an infielder, right? So, and that's the situation that they're in right now. These guys have, McMahon's not available yet officially. Neither is Brian Hayes. Neither is any of these other folks. Otherwise, trades would be made. Nobody's making big trades right now because these guys haven't officially been put on the block. Okay, that's one thing that I think we need to keep in mind, right? So, and yeah, I mean, I think DJ's time is coming to an end. And the fact is, I'd rather have him on the bench than Peraza on the bench at this point. We'll see. We'll get what happens. Yes, it's going to be Warren pitching tonight against I think it's Logan Gilbert from the Mariners. So it's going to be a tough matchup for the Yankees. Mariners have good pitching. But Cam Schlittler is scheduled to make his debut tomorrow officially. So, and by the way, I want to thank the people that join me in the morning, early in the morning. The reason why I go live that early in the morning is because I generally don't go live this time of day, right? And I'm going to give you an update on what's going on, see what the pulse is on the Yankee fans. And again, I'm out. You see me outside. I'm working out. I train for about an hour before I even come on. So. And there's a couple of people that are are questioning my fitness, questioning my breathing heavy, and so on and so forth. Content creators, right? And I'll just say this: you couldn't do what I do. You can't. Come and train with me for an hour. You'll have a heart attack in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay? So I would stop talking about other channels and other people now. Stop. Okay? Don't create a problem. There's content creators in here criticizing me and a couple other channels of doing stuff that we're not doing. And essentially, they're trying to pit us against each other or get people on their side against us. Okay, as a content creator community, I'm not in favor of that. Okay, and I'll say this too: this content created channel that's attacking me, I helped you. I went out of my way to help you, and I'm not going to name names because it's not worth it. You're not worth mentioning. Okay, I helped you, got you off your feet. Now you're going to come and try to turn on me, turn on a couple other folks that also helped you. Okay, don't do it in the other streams. Come on here and do it to me. I'll come over here and do it to my face in person. I'll record it so everybody can see. Okay? Let's leave the threats and the tough guy talk out of this. There's your one opportunity. Okay? You want to back it up in person. Otherwise, keep my words, keep my name out of your mouth. Stop trying to bring other people into this drama that you started. Okay? Enough. It's not worth mentioning, franchise. I'll just say that. He knows who he is. He's probably listening on the back end. He got somebody on his side to also peddle this lie about myself and another content creator too. That we're using bots, right, to grow our channels in an effort to sabotage them. Bots? I don't need a bots. For what? I don't even know what the hell a bot is. And I'm not going to spend money on a bot. I got 3 kids to put through school. You think I'm going to waste my money on bots in an effort to sabotage a tiny channel? Get real. Right? Get real. I don't spend my time hating on other channels here. Okay? I don't do it. Yeah, bots. And we blocked bots. We blocked, porn bots, trolls from other channels. We blocked those people because I don't want to have them infiltrating and dumbing down the community. I'm not going to do that here. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say, Joseph. And you're right. It is not worth addressing the BS. It's not worth being stressed over. Okay? It's not worth being stressed over. And again, you want to talk your talk? Go right ahead. You don't have any credibility unless you're going to walk your walk. None. Okay? And you're welcome to do it in person. You can bring your friend with you. And I'll record that too. Anyway, back to it. Okay? Appreciate you, Dev. You're the Devastator. You're Dev the Devastator. Remember that. This is why I have nicknames as terms of endearment. We have Consigliere. We have Clemenza. Okay? We have Made Men. Ken's a made man from The Ugly Truth. Right? Yeah. These are made men. That's right, baby. It's all terms of endearments for you guys. Keep that in mind. Don't forget that. I do it because I treasure you guys. O'Neal Cruz in the home run. I had that other kid. Never heard of him before. He's in the home run derby too. We don't have a new starter yet, J Pavas. Well, they're calling up. Cam Schlittler, their top pitching prospect right now. He's going to start tomorrow, Palvis. Back to baseball, baby. Exactly live from the ball line. Exactly. So we don't have a new starter yet. We'll have a new one tomorrow, at least temporarily. Right? But it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I would like if you bring in, let's just say you bring in Ryan McMahon. He bats in the bottom third of the lineup, or 6 to 9. You bring Brian Hayes, you could bat him at the top because he has speed. He can serve as a leadoff hitter, right? So it really depends on where situationally you're going to put them in the lineup. But it is okay to move guys around. We don't have the guys right now to have a consistent lineup across the board. As much as people want, okay, we don't have the personnel here right now, right? Words of Tom Hanks, no crying in baseball. Exactly. Keep the drama out of here, man. I thought we moved on from junior high school and high school. Like, really? Yeah. Graham, in my opinion, we need one starter and at least 2 relievers and a bat for third base. Well, now that we know Jazz is going to be at second, third base is the clear position of upgrade. So, like, who's that going to be? We don't know. We don't know. Freddie Nicholas is kind of. We might be, man. We might be dishing Fetty and Nicholas. I don't know. Are the Cardinals going to be dishing some pitch starters? Are they? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if he goes 5 and gives us 90 pitches, something like that, I mean, that to me is a good outing for him. Hopefully, Warren can give us some length today. He's got to stay out of that first inning trouble. Because when he gets, I'm always cool with Fortran. That's my dude. Mike Mazza, that's my dude. NFE, Strike Zone, my dude. Ken the Ugly Truth, my dude. Jason Custodio, my dude. Ace, my dude. Max Coverage, my dude. Those are my guys right there. Those are my guys. Okay. The Yankees, it looks like, John S., that's the plan now. The Yankees will get a third baseman. Now that it's official that Jazz is going to second and going to stay there. The target now is third base. Whereas we thought it was, yeah, he is on deployment. Yes, he is. And thank you for him for serving our country right now. Thank you, Mazin. Be safe, bro. Be safe, man. Yep. We miss you in the meantime, bro. We'll miss you, bro. Yeah, I mean, Warren's like he either has a good start or he gets his ass creamed in the first inning, right? And then and then he gives up 7 runs or 8 runs, and then it goes 3, 4 innings, and he sucks. So we need him to get out of that first. We need him to get through the first rotational lineup to, in one piece, right? So yeah, Duran, it is great news. And by the way, everybody in here, smack the like button if you don't mind. Let's celebrate Jazz coming back to second. Let's celebrate Luis Hill starting his rehab Sunday. And let's celebrate Cam Schlittler making his debut tomorrow. Really, let's celebrate this, man. Hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Let's try to get 100 likes while we're in here. I won't keep you that long. I just wanted to get this piece of news, these 3 pieces of news out to you. Okay? Yeah, well, exactly. It's bad luck for Clark Schmidt. And, when he was drafted out of South Carolina, he either, if I remember correctly, he had Tommy John right before he was drafted or right after he was drafted. But it was right around his being drafted he had Tommy John. So this is his second Tommy John surgery. So it is a seller's market. You're right about that too, Jack. Right? So that means there's going to be more buyers than sellers. So sellers are going to be jacking up prices for the buyers. That's just the way that's going to be. Right? Steven. Yeah, I don't see them moving Grisham, but I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Especially the way that Spencer Jones is playing right now, especially since it'll clear up a little more opportunity for Jason Dominguez. So that I could see. I should say I wouldn't be surprised. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Trent Grisham either, because he's a defensively gifted outfielder. So. Oh, yeah, is that right, Joseph? Who's he going to trade for to play third base? The Mets could. Who would we get from the Mets that we need? I would hate to send him to the Mets to have him torture us later, but yeah. Trent does get on base. And that's the other thing, too. Trent bats up top, he gets on base. Paul Goldschmidt, he gets on base. So, these other guys are getting on base with some regularity, too. Which is why, again, I would prefer to have Jason Dominguez's hot bat in the right behind Judge. Because that also makes it difficult for pitchers to intentionally walk Judge. Or maybe Cody, who's before him or after him. The last thing you want to do is face Jason Dominguez with 2 guys on if his bat's hot. Right? The last thing you want to do is intentionally walk Judge. When you have these hot bats behind them, pitchers are going to want to pitch to Judge, which creates more opportunities for him to hit. He happens to be one of the best hitters in baseball. So, got to create an awful scenario for pitchers. So, situationally, it makes more sense right now for Dominguez, at least in my opinion, to hit behind Judge. Because he doesn't have the right guys to drive in at 7, 8, 9. Right? So, yeah, well, don't be surprised if they trade for somebody like Cedric Mullins from the Orioles. Or don't be surprised if the Braves trade for somebody or the Braves or Maybe one or two other teams can trade for Cedric Mullins. I do think he gets moved. Marcus, what's up, my man? What's wrong with Volpe? He's a league average shortstop right now, and he's got to make better defensive decisions. But he needs protection on both sides. So it's like I said, Dominguez. If you're going to play Dominguez this year, it would be best to play him in center field, right? So he has protection from Judge and Bellinger on either side. The same thing applies to Anthony Volpe, in my opinion. He needs to be protected by two good infielders on either side of him. So reduce the amount of liability that he presents defensively to the infield. The money they saved on, well, just keep this in mind too. The money they saved on Cole does not lower the payroll. Their payroll remains the same. So they probably have about $12 to $15 million in wiggle room to match last year's payroll totals. In which case they would still have a like $50 or $60 million luxury tax hit beyond being over the cone threshold. So just keep that in mind. So the money they saved on Cole, just because they have $24 million saved, doesn't mean they can go out and spend $24 million because that's going to become almost $50 because they're over the cone threshold. So we got to factor that in too, right? Yeah, just like when Jacoby Ellsbury, he didn't play the last 3 years of his contract here with the Yankees, but the Yankees had insurance on his contract, so they didn't pay a single penny of his contract in the last 3 years. Insurance did, but his contract still counted towards the payroll. Their payroll didn't change, meaning that was subject to the same levels of penalties and luxury tax and so on and so forth. It would have been nice had they lowered the payroll by $23 million a year, but it didn't do that. I wish that was the case. I really do. So, well, keep in mind, Duran, if you get a $30 million, even if it's prorated, you pay $15, you're still going to pay $30 because they're taxed at 110% because of where they're at right now in terms of the payroll. So, just my guess is, being over. Let's just say they have $15 million to play with, right? My guess is they'll probably spend no more than $8 to $10 million of new money, which becomes 16 to 20 anyway. So, well, it's extra money to play with, but they are going out of pocket because they have to pay additional luxury tax fees. So they're kind of going out of pocket just in a different way, which sucks, which really sucks. And I wish teams weren't weren't penalized at the top like they are. The teams that don't spend it, the recipients of the luxury tax revenue sharing money should be the ones to be paying fees. Especially should be the ones that pay the damn money back that they get if they don't spend them on players. The Yankees should not be penalized for spending money to invest on their team. Neither should the Dodgers or the Red Sox or the Mets or the Cubs. None of those teams should be penalized for spending or investing on their product. They are on Schlittler's list, Sunil. That's right. Spielberg, you got that right, man. Spielberg's bringing him in tomorrow. Yeah, I agree, Ken. You should be able to add 3 players to stay. Let's just say you go to the Rockies and get McMahon and Jake Bird and someone else. The prorated keeps you at that level. You go to the Pirates, you get David Bednar, Brian Hayes, keeps you at that level. If you happen to add Mitch Keller, kind of keeps you there, maybe adds a little bit more. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get 3 players in one trade. We'll see. Cashman's done it before. And the last time he's done it was with Chicago when he got Todd Frazier, David Robertson, and Tommy Kahnle in one trade. That was the last time he brought in 3 players in one trade. Well, that brother Bill, a great point too. The Teixeira money picked up by insurance. No, Teixeira played out his whole contract before he retired. He played out his whole 8-year contract. 80 years, $180 million was $22.5 per year. Glass half empty. Yeah. If any team loses what our brother Cole, Hill, and now Schmidt would be. You got that right, Bill. Yep. Like the Braves. Yeah. This is a great point, man. Thank you for bringing that up. Any team that loses that much is done. And the fact that the Yankees are still not done is a testament to the Yankees. So I would give them credit, a little bit of credit there. People can still be critical of Boone and Cash. Go right ahead, be players. Volpe, he seems to be the bullseye right now, right? For fans, I get it. Like, could you imagine Bednar, Caleb Ferguson, Mitch Keller, and IKF in one trade? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But, I mean, crazier trades have happened before with that many players. My question is, with that, I mean, the Mitch Keller is going to be the one that's going to raise the price in that trade because he's one with controllable years. He's a pretty good starting pitcher. Now the name Joe Ryan from Minnesota Twins is being kind of talked about to have controllable years. But again, we'll see how much that's going to cost and if he becomes actually available officially. The team should get salary cap relief. They don't, though. They don't. Their payroll, I track this on an almost daily basis. Their payroll is not lowered by $24 million. I wish it was. I really do. But it hasn't been lowered yet. Now, if something comes out that changes, I'll definitely get it out to you. And again, I'll be live trade deadline day. So come and join me. Okay, I'll be feeding you in everything as it comes in. I'm live every year trade deadline day. I'll have a bunch of guests on me with me too. Kind of going in and out and in and out. So that's going to be fun. Spencer Jones not ready for the majors just yet. But he's inching there. He's closer than George Lombard is. Soriano from A's. Soriano, interesting. Yeah, yeah. Things get flowered. Yeah, exactly. It would mean a fundamental shift in the. You got that right, Ken. Great point too. You know, the new Ken Rosenthal. Well, it's funny, Sunil. Ken Rosenthal pointed out something yesterday that I've been saying for like 2 years, right? And people call me a Cashman shill and a Boone shill for saying exactly what Rosenthal said yesterday. That Aaron Boone is not going to throw his players under the bus publicly. He's not going to criticize them publicly. He's not going to give fans something to talk about and create propaganda about publicly, right? Just like Aaron Judge was going to do the same thing. He's not going to give people to chatter about and create baloney, just like Brian Cashman. There's a reason why they don't talk to certain people, because they don't want to give people bullcrap to create, right? And Ken Rosenthal said the same thing yesterday. There is no manager in baseball that publicly holds his players accountable right now, especially since we do not know, none of us do, what goes on behind the scenes. That doesn't mean he's not holding them accountable behind the scenes. We don't know. We could just assume. And we're going to go by what people say on social media who also don't know. John Boy, they have connection with Boone. They're not in the dugout. They're not in the locker room. Okay? But Ken Rosenthal said exactly what I was saying for like the last 2 years. So I'm glad that he did. Thank you, Ken Rosenthal, for saying that. Because it's a fact. It's crazy. Well, exactly. They don't want to show weakness in front office. Exactly. Beagle. Being vulnerable is one thing, but people classify vulnerability as weak all the time. Right? Well, he's not an alpha male. You got people who trash people from behind the screens who actually think they're alpha males. Masculine. No. Stop. Stop now. Right? It's just crazy. Yeah, I saw the AI-generated Judge trashing. Yeah. AI generated him trashing to the reporters and trashing his teammates, and I saw that too. If that's, and again, that's people going to run with that because that's what AI generates clicks for low information people, right? That's what happens. But I'm not going to take part in dumbing down the fan community here. I want to give credit. You know, I hold the Yankee fan community in a lot higher regard, at least the people that come here. I don't care about the other channels, what they do. Okay, if they want to trash them, go right ahead. But there are a couple like-minded channels who also live in reality. Ken from The Ugly Truth is one of them. Okay? There's a reason why we give people the facts, because you deserve the facts. You deserve the full story, not the story the part that I want, only I want you to hear, and leaving out the rest of the stuff. There are other places that do that all the time, and then they pose this real talk, but it's not true. Okay? Yeah, it is a poker and chess. I mean, this is chess right now, right? And the fact is, no GM has made his players available yet. So we can blame Cashman all we want, but he just can't say, send your guy over. I'll send a cab. I'll send an Uber for your guy. It's not the way. It doesn't work that way. Right? Yeah, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. Yeah, that's a big arm drawing. Yeah. He could be a big trade chip too. The Yankees have pieces. They just have to be willing to part with them to get the pieces that they need here, right? And just because certain players are expensive doesn't mean they're the right fits. The highly paid players aren't always the right fits here, so it's something to keep in mind as well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, like exactly, Jake. He's going to protect his players, right? And people will question, Volpe's struggle. They'll question in a way that feeds to the narrative that they're trying to feed to their viewers. And of course, if a manager would take offense to it, I would take offense to it too. And the fact is, we don't know what's going on, but these people try to get Boone to admit something, Judge to admit something, Cashman to admit something. There's a reason why Cashman never leaks, ever. Right? This is just straight up reality. Facts. Miggy and Duhar for third base. I got a good bat, but I don't know if he's the right guy here. Suarez does have a big bat, but he also said that he wants to stay in Arizona, so that could be a deterrent. But I don't know. He's got 28 home runs. He's got some serious power, right? But again, I wouldn't be giving up Spencer Jones for him. No, he's a rental. 2 months. No, thank you. Yeah, Juan Soto not going. Look, he had a slow start. He's picking it up. Like I said, Juan Soto's going to be fine. He'll still get 30, 90. He'll still have a good year. He's a good player, right? I don't think he's going to have a magical year like he had last year, batting in front of Judge, but he doesn't need to. He got his bag. That's it. Bill O, what's up, man? Well, exactly. Yeah. Get a little bit more offense, a little bit more consistent offense. Stop striking out with guys on base with more regularity, and we'll tolerate the defense a little bit better. A-Rod. Imagine that. Rengifo? Nah, he's not a fit. A couple years ago, but not now. I have a feeling it's going to be McMahon or Ke'Bryan Hayes. Neither one of them is my first choice, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those guys. I'd be surprised if it was Suarez. But you never know. But yeah, too, Graham, he makes a good point, too. If Suarez is officially on the block, there'll be teams lining up for him. Like a team like the Tigers. Could you imagine Tigers bringing in Suarez? That's deadly. They, to me, become the favorites in the American League. Adding a guy like Suarez. Or adding a guy like Freddie Peralta behind Tarek Skubal. That's going to make the Tigers very dangerous. Very dangerous. Well, exactly, too, Brother Bill. Yes, not everybody's going to be a fit for the Yankees and play in Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Yeah, David Justice was made for this environment. Right? Duque, made for this environment. CeCe, made for this environment. Like, it just happens. Willie Castro's another one. Can you get Willie Castro and maybe Joe and Duran for the bullpen? Like, could you do that trade? It's going to cost quite a bit, but Castro's another guy who could serve at the top of the lineup with speed and a pretty adept defender. You could also give Anthony Volpe a day off on occasion in shortstop while you're moving him around the infield a little bit too. Right? Ke'Bryan Hayes, I think the key right there, Ke'Bryan Hayes is number one in baseball for defensive run save at third base. So he'd be here for his glove more than for his bat. But his bat, again, let's pull up Ke'Bryan Hayes' stats here, okay? I know they're not sexy like Eugenio Suarez, that's for damn sure. But let's pull up Ke'Bryan Hayes' stats here. Right now he's batting .240 with 2 homers and 74 hits. So, yeah, not flashy at all. Let me see. He's got 7 doubles, 29 ribbies, 10 steals. He's got some speed. So, yeah, his 681, OPS. He would be mainly here for his glove. Now, maybe putting him here, he'll get a little bit more production offensively, batting him in a better lineup, but you never know. Never know. So, yeah, Milwaukee's another one. Well, Devin Williams is kind of finding himself again too. So he's taking a lot of heat, but he's also been bailing Luke Weaver out now, like Luke Weaver was bailing him out earlier. So I want to give him credit for that. Do I think he'll be back next year? Most likely not. So, yeah. Well, I'm fine with that. I mean, I would rather have. I mean, Brendan Donovan's my number one pick. So, um, but at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be Brian Hayes unless they can get Mitch Keller to come along too. Then it makes Brian Hayes a little more tolerable. But when you have guys like Mitch Keller induces a lot of ground ball activity, like Max Fried does, and you want to have a good defender at third base to be prepared for the ground ball activity. That's why Brian Hayes is a good fit there. Offensively, he's not as much of a fit as he is defensively. There's no arguing that. But also, yeah, Brocious stunk with his bat before he came here. And then he came here, was like the best number 9 hitter in history of baseball after that. So, yeah, I mean, it happens. So, yeah, I mean, it would be tough carrying. Well, I mean, Hayes, to me, would bat at the top of the lineup, Volpe would bat at the bottom. I mean, that's the way I would do it. But again, you might get more opportunities here. Hayes, but he'd be batting like in a lineup with Judge and the rest of these guys. It's better than what they have now. So, yeah, Willie Castro, Griffin Jackson, John Duran, like that would be a big trade. That'd be a big trade. I know people are talking about Joe Ryan from the Twins, but I'm not sure the Twins are going to make him available. He's good. He's really good. Rafael Flores, the catcher. The only way I see Flores being dealt, I mean, I could see J.C. Escar being dealt before Rafael Flores. So something I was talking to Ken about yesterday. I could see Rafael Flores replacing J.C. Escar, who is becoming, it sounds as if he's becoming a little bit more of an appealing trade piece for certain teams. So we'll see. Right? So, yeah, we've had some good prospect performance here. And we've got like Rock Riggio at second base in Double A. Like we have a lot of good players here now that are kind of moving up the system. I mean, our pitchers are a little bit, with the exception of Schlittler and Alan Winans, our best pitchers are at the low levels of the system. Our more adept hitters are at the top levels of the system. And we'll see who they draft in a couple weeks too. So Isaac Paredes, I don't know if he's going to get moved. He's over with the Cubs, right? I'm not sure he's going to get moved. Is it the Cubs or is it with the Astros now? In the Kyle Tucker trade. Maybe he's with the Astros. Steals! What's up, man? What's up, big dog? What's going on, man? Talking about breaking the 3 pieces of news, man, Steals. I don't know if you heard. Cam Schlittler is making his debut tomorrow. Luis Hill officially starts his rehab Sunday, so now his time clock's going to start. And Jazz Chisholm is officially back at second base for good. So, those are the 3 pieces of news I wanted to get out to people. See, okay, he did go to Houston. Okay. Yeah, I mean, So was a great clubhouse guy. You had so many good clubhouse guys. Tim Raines, like, so many good clubhouse guys. I'm saying, Steels, we try to keep the good news. We try to make people happy, right? And even if we're having a bad, rough patch, we try to find some type of silver lining so people can stay sane. You know what I mean, Steels? I appreciate you coming here, bro. Norby from the Marlins. Steels, what do you think about the deadline, man? You're damn right we need positivity. Yeah, I'll be live on deadline day, Steels. So if you want to come on, just send me a text and I'll send you the link if you want to join for a little while. I got some other people joining too. It's driving a lot of people crazy, bro. It's driving a lot of people crazy. I get it. I totally get it. I appreciate you, Raul, man. Thank you. Look, when there's good news to report, I'd rather, even if it's through a shitstorm of bad stuff, if we can put a little bit of good news here and there to make people feel a little bit better, brighten up their day a little bit, we want to do that, right? So, Miggy Andujar. What would you give for Miggy Andujar, Duran? That's my question. What would you give for him? Mm-hmm. Cashman will be active. Yeah, I don't know, Jake. I mean, like if he somehow makes, I'd say, two multiplayer trades, I'd be surprised. But it has happened before. The Padres have done it recently too. The Padres are always active, and I think the Padres will be active too. Pereira for Andujar. How much does Andujar have any control left on his contract? Do we know? Beatty to the Bronx for Volpe's dad. Cindy, look at jokes, man. I hope your dad's okay. Steals, is that right, man? Two guys from our top 23, from our 20th. Let's pull up. Let's pull up. My man Hector from Uptown Sports. My man. Let's pull up the Yankees top 30 prospects here. Okay. Let's see who is let's see who is between 20 and 30. Oh, hang on a second. My man Hector from Uptown Sports is going to join for a little bit too. Let me get him that. Let me get him the link so he can join and see if we have anything, if anything he's hearing from the inside here that we don't know about. Let's see what we got. Oh, sorry, 20 through 30. My apologies. Okay, let's go down to 20. Yankees top prospects. 20 is Clayton Beeter. 21 is Eric Razelman, right-handed pitcher. 22, Tristan Veerling, right-handed pitcher. 23, Thatcher Hurd, right-handed pitcher. 4 straight pitchers. 24, Rock Riggio, second base. 25, Griffin Herring, a lefty pitcher. 26, Brandon Maia, an outfielder. 27, Francisco Velorio, outfielder. 28, Grayson Carter, right-handed pitcher. 29, Brendan Jones, outfielder. And 30, Jesus Rodriguez, who's a catcher / third baseman. A lot of people have been calling for him to be called up, and he's kind of come back down to earth. But Vivas for Andor, not a bad idea. How much control did I don't know if I missed. What do you call it? Is he healthy though, Andor? Or is he hurt? How much control left does Andujar have in his contract before he's a free agent? Hector was talking about, Willie Castro this offseason. He's a guy, he's a guy that he's got speed and athleticism, so you can put him at the top of the lineup, right? You can. Which again, I appreciate you, Mike Flynn. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you, man. We try to make this a place that's therapeutic for people, right? 2026. So he's got one more year of control. Andor, okay, but that, I mean, Vivas is most likely not going to be playing here, so maybe that gets the holdover piece until George Lombard is ready. But at that point, too, are they going to consider George Lombard as a third baseman or Volpe's replacement as shortstop? We just don't know, right? So, Alec Bohm, Rodman Sosa. Sosa? Is he an outfielder or is he an infielder? Bohm? I mean, we've heard him. He's got power. Is he available? And that's the problem, too. We just don't know who the hell's available. But Bohm's another guy with a live bat. He hits from the righty side, just like Andujar. And he's a guy working. But it also depends on what the cost will be. The A's reached out to them about Alec Bohm, and they asked for Mason Miller, the Phillies. So I can only imagine what the Phillies would ask the Yankees. Like, my goodness. Yeah, folks are talking about Miguel Andujar, Marcus. Yeah. Our first trade, dude, I'm hoping it's any day now. I'm hoping it's any day. So, because I would love to report it to you guys. I would love to be able to share it. Especially if it's a good trade. My goodness. Cleveland's 15.5 out. I mean, if you can get Jose Ramirez, the question is, that would cost either Lombard or Dominguez or Jones and more. You'd have to be willing to give those guys up. At least one of them. You want Paul Skeens, you're gonna have to give two of them up. At least two of them. But the I don't know if the Pirates are gonna make him available. Even though we think they should. I doubt they're gonna make him available. Jorge Polanco's another guy. Yeah. Christian, man, I wish Cleveland was ready to deal. But also, if you make Jose Ramirez available and you make it known publicly, then there's going to be a line of people across the board, right? I mean, I'm willing to get Ramirez too, but like it'd be nice if Cash was like, look, man, let's make a deal. Let's keep it between you and me. Don't make it public. Like, it'd be kind of nice if they did that, but I doubt that's going to happen. So, I think Paul Skeens would cost 5 top 10 prospects. I don't know about 7. And 2, I agree, 2 or 3 of them have to be top 100. It's 100%. Look, there's only one. I mean, there's if we can get one player from the Rockies at the deadline, Jake Bird would be the guy I would want. Would I pull Dominguez for who's Keon? You talking about Stephen Kwan? Stephen Kwan? Yeah, Ramirez is going to cost a haul, and Skeens is going to cost an even bigger haul. How much control does Stephen Kwan have left in his contract? Is it worth moving a guy like Dominguez? Especially if Spencer Jones isn't yet. Well, that's the other thing too. If you swap Dominguez for Stephen Kwan fits right in, right? Then what happens after this year? I think it's you're going to hope that Cody Bellinger doesn't come back, or if he comes back, you move him to first base. That way, then you can move Spencer Jones in the outfield, right? It's crazy. Skeens would cost 2 duffel bags, 2 Mack trucks, Brink trucks, whatever they call them. Clase is another one too. Candelario could be the backup shortstop. I mean, he could. Yeah, I mean, I do think Peraza is close to getting moved. And let's see, middle relief. I mean, Clase would be a big get, but I don't know if they're going to do it. Austin Riley. I don't know if the Braves are going to make him available. And he's on a monster contract. So you'd probably have to give up George Lombard for him. Or I can imagine it's Skeens, Cole, Fried. I mean, that would just be crazy. And yeah, I want to say that thing too. I'm not sure if Atlanta would trade one of their young building blocks. They would probably trade Chris Sale before they move Austin Riley. He's one of their young building blocks on a long contract. But that's what we got. That's what we got, Kenny. I don't want to keep you very long. I want to get this news out there. I want to appreciate you all coming on. Please smack that like button on the way out. Let's get 100 likes if we can. That would be greatly appreciated. It's always helpful in the channel. It's always helpful in the algorithm. It's always greatly appreciated by me. Well, David Cohen, I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, Hill starts his rehab Sunday officially. So now the time clock begins, right? Now the question, and they're going to build him up as a starter. That's what I do know also. So, is Kwan a free agent after this year? Stephen Kwan? Yeah, I mean, I would put Luis Hill in the bullpen as long relief too, just to protect his arm. I would do the same thing. DeGrom, I don't know if they're going to get. I'm not sure they're going to move with DeGrom to Texas Rangers, especially now that he's pitching like DeGrom again. Yep. Well, you willing to give up Lombard, Jones, and Walls or Rice? Wow. Well, you're giving up quite a bit for Jose Ramirez. Woo! I do think the Yankees will trade Peraza, Jonas. I do. To who I'm not sure yet, but I do think they'll trade him. I think moving Jazz to second, to me, kind of confirms that they're going to bring in a third baseman in a trade because they know that they have to upgrade at their base. We'll see, Patrick. Yeah, that's the big question. Can they right the ship? That's the $1 million question. That's a $10 million question. Steals. A lot of people are asking for Volpe to be traded too, but who would you trade him for, and who would you replace him with? That's the question. Can we correct Miggy? Is the question too. Can we come back here and get him redeem himself with the Yankees? Have a better second, time around. Yeah, well, this is right too. I mean, so true, John. Oswaldo was a huge loss, right? Oswaldo, it hurts more than people think it does. So, but my guess is it could be IKF. If they don't want to get Brian Hayes' big contract, they could bring in IKF as a stopgap. With David Bednar and there's a couple of guys you can get from Pittsburgh, and they have a good trading relationship with the Pirates. So, yeah. There's no prep, Fishbowl. This is a good question. This is a good. You know what? I think I might do hot dogs and peanut M&Ms on trade deadline day. Anybody that's willing to do it too, let me know. It's no real prep. You just got the hot dog, the way you want to cook it, your bun. I keep it simple. I put the mustard, and then I line up peanut M&Ms across. That takes it up to a whole nother level. You get crunch. You get a little bit of the chocolate, a little bit of the nut in there with the hot dog and the mustard. I'm telling you, you'll thank yourself later. It's a cheat meal for me. So it's like a once-a-year thing for me. Other than that, I eat pretty damn clean. So, yeah. Miggy's been pretty... Yeah. Miggy has been... He's pretty consistent with the offense, I must say. What reliever would you be willing to trade Volpe to? The relievers, I would trade him for relievers with controllable years, but let's see here. John Duran from the Twins. Do the Twins need a shortstop? I don't know. Nicky Lopez. They also brought in Jimmer Candelario too. Who else has controllable years? Jake Bird from the Rockies, but who the hell's a shortstop? Is it Tovar in the Rockies? They don't need Volpe. This is the question, what reliever would you trade him for? And the reliever's got to have controllable years because if Volpe's got 3 controllable years, we're going to need some kind of give there. And I know the Yankees are not going to give him up for a rental. They're not going to give him up for Kyle Finnegan or Ryan Helsley or anything like that. They'd be nuts to do that. Well, yeah, it could pick up Brian Hayes. Yeah, his back. He's had some back stuff too. Yeah. Beagle, telling you what, you're fine. Just do the M&M and a peanut. Put it on pizza. Let's try that. Whole nother thought process. Whole nother recipe. Right? Well, I agree. Volpe will be the Yankees starting shortstop unless a trade comes by that he can't refuse, or unless Lombard either comes up and replaces him, or they are projected to sign Juan Diasagen, who's the #1 international free agent from the Dominican Republic. He's a shortstop, and they have most of the money allocated towards him already internationally. They just traded Alex Jackson to the Orioles, a catcher, for $250K of international money too, to pad whatever's left. They didn't have much international money left because most of it's allocated to Diasagen. So, but the key is who are they going to draft in the first round and pick 39? Is it going to be a corner infielder, an outfielder? We just don't know. So I wouldn't draft a shortstop in the first round. I would draft a corner infielder. But that's just me. We've talked about that too. Or potentially an outfielder. But that's why I have Spencer Jones here. I don't want to disrupt what we're trying to build here already. For Pivot, oh my God, anchovies pizza. Ugh. Damn, Sunil. You could do that too, Steels. You could send Volpe down to work on some stuff. We've talked about that too as well. I'm like, Nicky Lopez is a defensive first guy, not known for his bat, but he's a defensive first guy. So they just signed him last week. So you could do that. It would be unpopular probably with a lot of the Yankees brass, but it is what it is. If it's going to help him work on some things that he needs to work on AAA and get him back up here, then so be it. And it would probably give the fans a week or 2 weeks of peace of mind too. Yeah. Well, exactly, Steels, and that's why our backups right now, our backup midfielders are with DJ and Peraza. Like we don't have much, right? So yeah, well, like offensively, when Volpe's hot, he's really good. When he stinks, he stinks. So what's the thing too, Steels? Which I think anybody that they bring in third base has to have a really good glove because Jazz is a plus defender at second. We need to protect Volpe on both sides in the infield. We really, really do. So Volpe hasn't been optioned out yet, so he can't be out of options. I don't think they optioned him down once. He hasn't gone back down to the minors since he's been up. So I think he has all three of his options. Yes, he does. He leads the league with men left on base. Yep. Yes, he does. Let's see. Yep. Yeah. He strikes out way too much. He comes up a lot with guys on base. So he's been striking out way too much. So I doubt the Yankees get rid of Stanton because he's their best postseason bat. I doubt it. And he still has something in the tank. He still has something left in the tank. Oh, you're going wimpy on us, Simeon. I'm glad we play us Tuesday for a Volpe. You're going wimpy from Popeye on us, huh? All right. Anyway, gang, I'm gonna wrap this up. Let me check really quickly to see if there's any news that is worth reporting. We're talking about here. Let's look in two different places here. Okay. Nothing there. Check one other spot. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Just what we have so far. Just those three pieces. So the roster crunch is real. Yes, it is. Yeah, I think a change of scenery could do him could do him some well. He'd be batting in a better lineup too. But we'll see what happens here. Right? Can do like the Steelers, yeah. Freaking Metcalf, Rogers. They made some crazy moves. Well, yeah. Aside from his men left on base, he is. Yeah, Ken brings up a point too. Fourth amongst shortstops and RBIs, first in doubles. That's production there too. He just happens to get up a lot with guys on base. So they were talking about Volpe, Merck. We're talking about Volpe. So there's a lot of feelings on Volpe as we understand. So well, exactly, and keep in mind the Yankees are not the ones that promoted him like the second coming of Eric Jeter. Beat writers did that, scouts did it, not Cashman, not Boone, not Hal. So none of those guys, right? So, well, I think this is why Steel's why they have to get a good glove at third. We got to protect Volpe's. Got to protect his ability to throw on either base. So, yeah. Yeah, he's a league average shortstop right now, right? He just happens to make more errors than we need him to make, which is, contradictory of his Gold Glove performance 2 years ago. I get it. People are frustrated. I totally get it. Right? No. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers now. Now we have Justin Fields to go after him, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, look at that. Sports. What is good, big man?
What's good, bro? Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Probably be on for like another
You
15.
you can bring me down. I'll be right back.
All right. He'll be back. Hector will be back. Okay. Yeah, it's Hector will be right back. Yeah, we don't disagree that the Yankees, I mean, I agree too, Ken. Yeah, I mean, like, I understand the desire to move on from Volpe, but we don't have anybody who can credibly replace him right now. We just don't, right? And that's a problem, right? Unfortunately, I do, Merck. Now that they've made it official that Jazz is going to play second, I do feel that a trade might be the first move that the Yankees make for third base. I don't know. I have an inkling, and I'll ask Hector when he comes back. You know, I wouldn't worry too much about the post game interviews. He's not going to throw his players under the bus, Terry. He's going to be defending his players. No manager is going to throw his players under the bus in a post game show. None. Zero. It could be Ryan McMahon or it could be IKF. At this point, I don't know, man. Could be Miggy for all I mean. I just don't know. But this is why, like, stay quiet around this time because there's so much speculation that can, you know, be put forth by people, and most of the people who are wrong when they put out their narrative. So, like, I don't see the point until the move actually happens. I'm not going to have him screwing up before something even happens, Aaron Boone, or Cashman screwing up before something even happens. So, just wait. I'd rather respond to the move instead of predicting the move. Kind of like the stock market, right? So, I might have to break out the glove. My wife's got my glove today because she's playing softball this afternoon with her company, so on our corporate team. So she has my glove. I can't suit up today, otherwise I would go drive up to Yankee Stadium, see if I can get in, but unfortunately my wife took my glove. Thanks a lot, honey. The Yankees are not going to fire Aaron Boone, John, despite this ridiculous narrative that some channels are putting forth. Yeah. Bo Bichette, and again, like, what's going to be the price for Bo Bichette? We don't know. I wouldn't say that, Terry. If George Steinbrenner wanted to win every single year, I mean, he wouldn't have gone 18 years without a World Series, which he did, 1978 to 1996. He went 18 years without a World Series. 18. Longer than Hal's stretch. So as much as people call Cashman and Hal clowns, George Steinbrenner also tried to dig. He hired a bookie to try to manufacture dirt on Dave Winfield to sabotage him. And he was busted, and he was banned for life from baseball. During that time he was banned. He was reinstated 3 years later. But during that time, that's when they brought in Mariano Rivera, and they brought in Derek Jeter. They brought in a lot of these players when Steinbrenner was out of the game. So the core four for the majority of them, with the exception of Paul O'Neill, was formed while Steinbrenner was gone. So people can call Cash and Hal a bunch of clowns, but George wasn't perfect either. Yeah. And again, you don't need to constantly flex your chest like a barbarian to see that. And again, Steinbrenner operated in a different game. He didn't have to deal with these payroll thresholds, the Cohen threshold, right? He wasn't financing a new stadium. So he didn't have to do any of that stuff. And Hal and Cashman do, right? So it's a different landscape. Man, heck, there's that. My man, what's good, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, but I was just having some technical issues. What's good, brother? What's
What's
good? The
good?
Yankees in the free fall right now, bro. What we talking about?
Well, I had three pieces of news to break. Right, number one, Cam Schlittler is officially making his debut tomorrow. Number two,
I will be there tomorrow for his debut, so I will be live on the field. If you guys have TikTok, follow me, Uptown Sports TV on TikTok. I go live from Yankee Stadium, from Citi Field. I will be at the MLB All-Star Game, covering the MLB All-Star Game for Latino Sports, going live every day. So, guys, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. My fault, Jay.
fantastic, dude. I'm always checking on Hector on TikTok. I'm always giving him his love and flowers.
Appreciate you, bro.
And move number two, they made it official. Luis Hill starts his rehab Sunday, so the time clock is officially starting now, starting Sunday. And they announced a little while ago, piece three, that Jazz Chisholm is officially moving to second, staying there. So I don't know if you're hearing anything on the back end. Does this mean that there's a trade potentially in the horizon for third base now?
Well, one thing I do know is that Brian Cashman and his brain trust, they're working the phones and they're meeting to get ready for the trade deadline. Latino Sports, we have an event tomorrow by Yankee Stadium where we're honoring some of the Latino journalists and sports writers that are part of the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association. And somebody who had their hand and developing it or helping it grow from its birth was Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman was a part of the is part of the Yankees, and he was there when the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcast Association first had their first ever foundation, first ever meeting, and Brian Cashman was there. Cashman was supposed to be at our event tomorrow. He called my boss earlier today and said he can't because of he's working right now. He's busy. So one thing I do know is that Cashman is working the phone, and him and his brain trust, they are working to try to improve this lineup.
Got to give him his flowers for helping,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. Latino sports has been around since 1990, and the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association started in 2004 after A-Rod got traded to the Yankees. And Brian Cashman has been a part of bringing that to the forefront when it comes to anything that you see Latino, Hispanic, in Major League Baseball. It was the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association alongside Brian Cashman who brought all of this to Major League Baseball.
Look at that, man. Shout out to Brian Cashman, man. Shout out to him for that. See? A lot of things people like to hate on Cashman for. This is something that's a good thing that he brought to the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be at Yankee Stadium working media in the capacity I do if it wasn't for Latino sports, the Latino Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association, and Brian Cashman.
Look at that, man. And we thank you for doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing a great job over there, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Like, do you, and just out of curiosity, like, the options to me for third base seem to be the two most frequently talked about names are Ryan McMahon and Ke'Bryan Hayes, right? Now I could see either one. Ryan McMahon, I think, offensively would bat in the bottom part of the lineup. Ke'Bryan Hayes would probably bat in the top of the lineup because of his speed. I know, but there's also an argument. Let me know what your take is on this too. There's an argument for Jason Dominguez to be leadoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also an argument for him to bat maybe right behind Aaron Judge. Why do I say that? Because 7, 8, 9 right now with the Yankees don't get on base. They don't hit, right? And do I want a hot bat or I want hot legs? I want the hot bat. And the hot bat needs people to drive in, right? Mm-hmm. And if he bats behind Judge and he has a hot bat, then that's people are going to have to pitch to Judge more often.
Yeah.
Instead of intentionally walking him. So it creates more opportunities for Judge. And if you happen to walk him, then you have to deal with Jason Dominguez behind him and so on and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, I think there's an argument for him to bat behind Judge just as much as there's an argument to bat him at leadoff.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I see both sides of the argument, and you make a very valid point. To me, I think the recipe is something that a lot of Yankee fans don't want to go back to, and I think that is having Aaron Judge bat in the 2-hole. If you have Dominguez leading off the game, you can have Judge in that 2-hole with Cody Bellinger in the 3-hole, Paul Goldschmidt in that 4th hole. And if you go out there and you trade for Eugenio Suarez or Ryan McMahon, you can add them in the middle of that list as well. The reason why I would stay away from Ryan McMahon, there was a stat that I saw last night on Twitter that somebody put there. When since 2023 with at least 1,400 plate appearances, Ryan McMahon is the fourth worst hitter in Major League Baseball. Do you know who's third?
Who's third?
Anthony Volpe. Do you know who's fifth? Do you know
Who?
who's fifth? Alex Verdugo. So that's why I personally would stay away from Ryan McMahon. I know a lot of people, they feel a certain type of way about IKF. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't hate IKF. Eugenio Suarez may cost you a bit more. And when you look at the Yankees farm system right now, the New York Yankees are 24th in all of Major League Baseball. So they don't have a lot at the top level to trade away for a guy like Eugenio Suarez. So you may have to settle for the IKFs of the world. You may have to settle for Jamie Candelario, who you signed over the weekend, who had a 113 batting average with the Cincinnati Reds before he was released, right? So there are options there, but the option that the Yankees may land may not be what the fans are in love with. Jace, you know who I would love in a fantasy hypothetical world? I would love J-Ram. I would love Jose Ramirez with the New York Yankees. But I know that would never happen. One, he has a no trade clause. And two, if he was to become available, I don't think Brian Cashman will want to part ways with George Lombard Jr. in order to make that deal happen.
Because you would have to part with George Lombard Jr. There's
Yeah.
no two ways about it. You got to say goodbye to Lombard.
Yeah, and ever since Oswaldo Cabrera has been injured, Oswaldo Cabrera has been out of the lineup since May 12th, and since May 12th, the New York Yankees are literally 24-24. We are a 500 ball club in the absence of Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, that shows the impact, the low-key impact that Oswaldo Cabrera had.
Right? Bryce in the chat. Shout out to Bryce Baloney. No, that's not his last name, Baloney. But shout out to Bryce who said Ryan McMahon or Cabrian Hayes. I would love Cabrian Hayes over Ryan McMahon because I know with Hayes, I got a Gold Glove defender at third base.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's number one in Major League Baseball at defensive run saved at third base. Okay, and if you have Jazz at second, Hayes at third, you're giving protection for Volpe, who needs it defensively on both sides of the infield. Right?
Yeah.
And he needs as much defensive protection right now as possible. Because one of the biggest knocks on him right now is his defense, right? Steele's pointed that out too. Bad defense, errors. I get it. So you got to give him protection any way you can get it. And again, I think Hayes has 2 more years left, and then after that, there's a couple of options.
Yeah, it's some options, but they're team friendly. It's a team friendly contract. But even with Cabrian Hayes, he may not jump off the stat sheet when it comes to like his batting average or his home runs. But a guy who's a Gold Glove defender, who's on the cheap, that's going to cost you assets to get back. Yeah. And I know his name is not sexy. I don't know, a lot of fans wouldn't want to trade Spencer Jones for Cabrian Hayes. But the Yankees, you guys have to understand, if George Lombard Jr., who is the 26th ranked prospect in MLB baseball, if he was not in the Yankees farm system, our farm system would be dead last in baseball. Just let that sit in the back of your mind. With Jason Dominguez being at the major league level and with George Lombard Jr. not being in the Yankees organization, the Yankees will have the worst farm system in all of baseball.
Yep. Somebody's asking, is Hayes a good hitter? Well, he's a decent hitter. Mediocre, decent. He's known for his glove. Okay. If he was a better hitter, his contract would be bigger.
He better than Pablo Reyes.
Yeah, he's like, damn. Shots fired.
Shout out to Pablo Reyes. I love Pablo Reyes too, but he's a better at bat than Pablo Reyes. He may be a better at bat than Cabrian than Jaime Candelario.
He could be. So, crazy things have happened. But again, like, I'll take the defense if because the fact of the matter is, whether it's McMahon, unless you're going to get Suarez, that's the only guy who's going to offensively move the needle for third base. Nobody else, unless you get Brendan Donovan, which is not happening.
That's not happening.
Or J-Ram, which is not happening. So nobody's going to move the needle offensively at third base.
Yeah. And when it comes to Jazz Chisholm, I know a lot of people want to point at his defense this past series against the Mets. I don't blame Jazz Chisholm for being stuck at playing third base, playing out of position, because what happened during the offseason and the spring training, Jazz Chisholm was getting ready to be a second baseman at the major league level. Him and Anthony Volpe, everybody was talking about this is the best up the middle combo they've had in years with Volpe and with Jazz Chisholm. And then they stick Jazz Chisholm at third base. And it came out that Jazz Chisholm, he's been dealing with a shoulder issue over the past week and a half. That's why he can't make the accurate throw to third base.
Yep. And you move him to second, protects his shoulder more. Now we got my man Duran, who is really wanting Miguel Andujar to come back here. from the A's.
That's man. I think I got a better. Jason, I think me and you we got better odds of growing an afro than Miguel Andujar ever coming back to the New York Yankees.
I mean, look, I like Miguel Andar, but I think unfortunately, like the Yankees had an opportunity to trade him at the time for I think it was Thor, Noah Syndergaard, right? And they didn't do that. They also had an opportunity to trade Gleyber Torres for who the hell was it?
Oh, Luis Castillo,
Castillo.
Tariq Skubal. At one point, they wanted to offer to Tariq
1 for 1.
Skubal for Gleyber Torres, and the Yankees said no. That right there, I think, hurts more than anything else
Oh.
because that same offseason, they said no, we're not going to trade you Gleyber Torres for Tariq Skubal. We're going to trade for Jameson Taillon from the Pittsburgh Pirates because him and Garrett Cole was friends when they were in the Pittsburgh Pirates system.
Yep. I think he's on the high end again too, Tyon. So
yeah. Man, you can't make it up, Jay. You can't make it up, Jay. You really can't. You really can't.
These are the things that you find out later. They did what? They did shit. And these are 1-for-1 trades.
Mm-hmm.
Been Gleyber Torres for Skubal. 1-for-1. It wasn't Gleyber Torres and 5 dudes like it would be now. Gleyber Torres and 5 dudes. You want to trade for Skubal now? You got to give half your farm up. So,
yeah. I just want to say shout out to the chat, folks. We got over 100 people in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button for my guy, Jason. The 161 Mafia is in the building. Jay, I know you're about to get ready to wrap things up, but before you go, on my show this morning, I played it. I'm not sure if you played it or if you touched about it. June 21st of last year, Hal Steinbrenner made an appearance on the Michael Kay show. And do you remember what they were talking about?
Off the top of my head, I don't, man.
When Hal Steinbrenner told Mike Francesa, I don't know why fans are upset. You know, we got a competitive team on the field. I just can't. I just don't know why fans are upset. And the fact that we're 12 months later, and that interview could have happened today, and I think he would have probably said the same thing.
You could be right, man. You could be right. Merck's asking you too. What do you think of Willie Castro from the Twins?
I do like Willie Castro. Merck, I said it earlier. If the Yanks trade for Willie Castro, I'm trying to get Duran as well. Give me that reliever. I'm sending you Spencer. I'm driving Spencer Jones to LaGuardia Airport myself. All right, is what I'm going to do. But I'll take Willie Castro and Duran as well. Shout out to Duran. He follows me on Instagram, so that's my guy. I want him in the Bronx.
Does he really?
Yeah. He follows me on IG.
Did you have Freddie Peralta in the dugout the other day talking to him?
Yeah. I was with Freddie Peralta the other day. Shout out to Freddie Peralta. He was awesome as well. A lot of base like Adley Rushman was pretty good. Gunnar Henderson was pretty dope as well. I've been able to interview a lot of players like on my TikTok live. That's why I tell y'all, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. So when I go live from the field, I get a lot of players that come around and say what up while we're live on TikTok. So that's pretty dope. I find it that they're more willing to talk when they see that I'm on TikTok live instead of going up to them like, hey, can I have a 2-minute interview? No, if I'm live at the moment, they're willing to like jump in, and a lot of baseball players love it.
That's kind of cool, man. It's more authentic that way anyway. So
yeah, very more authentic, authentic.
And again, if you're not subscribed, anybody in to Uptown Sports, please make sure you subscribe. You got his lovely partner in crime, Grace Monroe. They got a dynamic duo over there, man.
Yes,
really, really, really do talk baseball. So you want a different perspective. We got great perspectives on both sides. So
yes, it's Uptown Sports TV, like you see here on the screen, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Also, you can check me out on latinosports.com. We put out articles every day. I got an article that I'm working on right now around the New York Knicks and their new head coach. So we do put out articles, not just around baseball. We cover MLB, we cover the NBA, the NFL, Major League Soccer as well, the NHL, combat sports. So we cover it all. We cover it all at Latino Sports.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So somebody, Graham wants to know what you've Castro, Duran, and Jack. You talking about Griffin Jacks, right? He's a
Griffin Jacks. That's the thing that's going to cost. That I can see us getting 2 out of that 3. If we could get all 3, sign me up. But it's going to cost us Highlander. I think he is a reliever or a starter.
Yo, he's got 62 strikeouts in 38 innings. Holy shit.
Stacks. He has a 4.23 ERA. Maybe this is somebody that Matt Blake can get a hold of and turn him around.
I know people are talking about Joe Ryan too, a starter from the Twins. That's going to cost more. He's going to cost a lot, Joe Ryan, starting pitcher from the Twins.
Yeah, and SCHLITTLER is starting tomorrow. I honestly wish he was starting today so I could try to get an interview with him tomorrow. Normally pitchers, they don't like talking or interviewing the day that they pitch. Freddie Peralta was different because Freddie Peralta, it was a doubleheader. I got there at 9:00 in the morning. Freddie Peralta was the only player that was like on the field in his chanclas, eating his Chipotle, hanging out with the cops because one of them was his cousin. We just talking, and after the game, he was literally there in the same seat right before game 2 of the doubleheader in the same yellow shirt that he wore before game 1, just chilling, eating another bowl of Chipotle. Estamos aquí, gusando, Freddie Peralta is funny. It's funny as hell.
I liked him, man. That was an entertaining interview that you did with him, man. Entertaining discussion, man. That was really cool, man.
Yeah. And also, I interviewed Ronald Acuna Jr. A week or so ago. We presented him the 2023 Latino MVP award, and that was pretty dope as well. I was able to go into like the clubhouse. I've been in the clubhouse, I've been in the Yankees clubhouse, the Mets clubhouse, both home and visitors. But being in the clubhouse is different than being on the field because you cross a threshold, Jason, that nobody get to see because there's a big ass sign, no photos, no cameras, no recordings, nothing whatsoever. It's so authentic. And you go into the clubhouse and you see they got board games, they got video games, and you realize, wow, they're human beings like us.
Regular dudes, man.
Regular dudes, regular people. That's like when you go to work before you clock in, you probably hang out, go to your break room, sip on your coffee, do whatever you got to do before you clock in. It's the same thing with the baseball players.
That's crazy, man. But it's real too, man. That's what That's what a lot of people don't realize. These guys are regular guys. If they play a game and they get to be kids, but they also take a lot of heat from the fans. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, and it's easier said than done, man. It's like if you've played the game, you know how hard it is to hit a 95-mile-an-hour pitch with fastball with movement. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, and you guys got to remember, they're human beings at the end of the day. I know they get paid millions of dollars, so nobody's going to cry and poo-poo over them. But if I'm Anthony Volpe's father and you guys are talking about my son the way that Met fans were talking about Anthony Volpe that game on Sunday, I would have done the same thing like Anthony Volpe's father, probably, maybe even worse. So I don't know if it's a bad move on him, but I see what he's saying, and I stand by Anthony Volpe's father.
And just look what the fans did to Ketel Marte last week.
Bro, it was disgusting. Disgusting.
Foul, man. He lost his mom. I think it was a car crash, right? He passed away in a car crash, I think, in 2018. And some fan was taunting his mom.
Yeah.
Saying really bad things about his mom. Of course he was. That's his mom, dude. You only get one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it affected him, man. It was messed up, man. I'm glad that guy was banned from every baseball stadium. And he should have been banned.
It's just like I brought up that story. Those young kids that were on the field, and Garrett Cole's there signing autographs, and one of the kids asks him, do you hate Trevor Bauer? Why are you going to ask Garrett Cole that? Why are you going to ask that?
Yeah, and that's just your one opportunity to ask him a good question, and you're going to ask him that? Come on, man.
I've seen Clayton Kershaw show kids how to throw a curveball. That's the question you ask Garrett Cole. How do you grip your fastball? How do you throw your changeup? How do you throw your those are the questions. You don't go up and ask him, hey, I saw a video on TikTok. Do you hate Trevor Bauer? Come on, bro. What are we doing? Be better.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. Come on. That's not the question I would ask him. Shit. No way, man. But is you hearing anything else as we get close to the deadline? By the way, I'll send you the link. I would love to have you and Grace on.
Yes.
I'll be live trade deadline day. Anytime you want to come on, for as long as you want to come on.
Yeah, I'll be there as well. I know you and Ace are doing a big collab episode. I'll be in Atlanta for the All, so I won't be able to chime in or whatever. But I do want to jump on a panel. Me, you, Ace, Jason Custodio as well, and other Yankee content creators to have a big panel leading up to the trade deadline or on the trade deadline. But no, just the rumors. Eugenio Suarez is somebody that the Yankees are behind. Brian Hayes is a name to remember. Before he went on fire for the past couple of months, Jason Dominguez was in heavy trade conversations. Peraza was in heavy trade conversation with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Dominguez more to the Giants for Matt Chapman, but that was only hot for 3 days and it fizzled out. But besides what you're hearing on the tea leaves, I would say pay close attention to the blue check marks, but the valid blue check marks that are on Twitter. You guys know all the valid blue check marks. It's just whatever names that are out there right now. I would say if I had to put money on it, I would say Brian Hayes first, Eugenio Suarez second, and maybe IKF third. That's how I would rank them if I was to rank where the Yankees land with their third base situation.
What about bullpen? What do you think?
Bullpen, same thing. When it comes to Pittsburgh,
Bednar?
Bednar, I don't know how real that is. I know a lot of people was talking about Andrew Heaney. I'm not sure how real that is as well. But I know the Yankees were trying to trade Peraza to Pittsburgh for a reliever. Who the reliever was, I don't know. That was never mentioned to me. But I do know that the Yankees did engage in conversations around Peraza going to Pittsburgh for a reliever. So maybe they could revitalize that conversation, add Peraza, Everson Pereira, maybe a couple more other pieces to get a reliever, and maybe IKF back in a trade. I don't know.
Yeah, it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a trade with the Rockies for one of the relievers, even without McMahon. I'm
Yeah,
fine not getting McMahon. If you can get Jake Bird or one of those guys, that's a big get, and I'll
I,
take
I don't.
over McMahon.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
like I don't like McMahon's numbers outside of Coors Field.
Yeah,
And
people
when you
saying
look at the Yankees analytic department, they rely heavy on analytics. And when you look at his numbers away from Coors Field on the road, it's not good. It's
that.
really not. He's a batter that's built on hitting in Coors Field. And if you've seen his trajectory every year has gone down and down and down when it comes to his batting average, his on base percentage, and his OPS.
This is true, man. One thing before I wrap it up, before I let you go, man. Can you see Spencer Jones being a September call up?
As much as I would love Spencer Jones to work out, just remember he's hitting home runs at AAA right now, but he's still striking out 39.6% of the time.
Yeah.
Even at AAA, he's striking out 37% of the time. So it's an improvement from AA, but it's still 39.6% across the board at AA and AAA. So maybe he's a trade piece down the line. I'm not sure, but I would say, if knock on wood, if any catastrophic injury was to happen, yeah, you could see him getting called up. But outside of that, I don't see him getting called up this year.
Do you see him part of the long term plans for the Yankees?
Long-term plans, no. I could see him being dealt at this trade deadline, if not this trade deadline, in the offseason. I don't think he's a part of the long-term plan for the Yankees, because if he was, they would have been called him up, especially with the way he's been performing at AA and at AAA. He
Yeah.
killed it at the past month, and AA he killed it. He hit over 300, and then now in AAA he's killing it as well, hitting over 350.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's got like 4 or 5 home runs already. He's tearing the cover off the ball. His
Yeah,
OPS
and
is 1,000. So, like,
again, but he's still striking out at a 37% clip.
yeah. And again, keep in mind, folks, too, there was another player who hit 460 home runs in Major League Baseball who struck out that much, too. Adam Dunn. Okay? 460 home runs. And he couldn't run. No, I mean, nobody remembered how many times he struck out. They remember
Yeah,
460 home runs.
he's a strikeout. He was a strikeout machine. He gonna hit you some home runs, but he gonna strike out.
Yep.
And like I said, I want Spencer Jones to work. I would love for Spencer Jones to work at the major league level here with the Yankees, right?
Yep.
When you just look at the strikeout percentage, that's what major league teams focus on. They could put aside batting average, they could put aside exit velocity, but the strikeout percentage is a big sign to show if you can hit at the major league level. And he just hasn't improved consistently.
Yeah, and we need him to improve consistently. So he made that drop in the last month at AA, but we need to make that drop in AAA too.
He's a phenomenal defender. He has great speed. I'm not killing him on that. The Yankees are just focusing on the strikeout percentage. And we've seen prospects in the past not get called up because of their strikeout percentage. Right now, Spencer Jones, over these past 2 months, he has hit better batting average wise than Jason Dominguez and Anthony Volpe for any 2-month stretch of their career at the minor league level. I'm not saying Spencer Jones, when it comes to his batting average and home run, can't hit at the major league level. It's just the Yankees. They see that strikeout percentage and they're not in love with it.
Yeah, so
it's not me. It's the Yankees. The Yankees aren't in love with it. Would I call him up for a cup of tea? Yeah, I'll call him up for a cup of coffee.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
He's changed his batting average this year more than more than the shortstop from the Baltimore Orioles did in his whole career. What was his? Forgetting his name. I'm having a brain fart.
Cal Ripken?
Cal Ripken. There you go. I don't know why. I actually saw him a couple of weeks ago at the stadium. But yeah, he's changed his batting average this season more than Cal Ripken did in his whole entire career. I would love for Spencer Jones to be up here at the major league level. I would say a perfect scenario, if Paul Goldschmidt keeps struggling, you could just move Cody Bellinger to first base, call up Spencer Jones, have him be your center fielder, and Jason Dominguez in left field. I would do that tomorrow. Would the Yankees do it? I don't know. I don't know if the Yankees would do it.
Yeah. Now, one last thing too, if Bellinger opts out after this year, would you give him a qualifying offer?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll give him a qualifying offer because if he signs with somebody else, you get compensation back.
Yeah, and a qualifying offer is less than what he would make if he stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I'm definitely offering him that qualifying offer. Would he take it? I don't think so. I definitely
Well,
don't think so.
would you give Devin Williams a qualifying offer?
Yeah,
You would.
yeah,
All right.
I'll give Devin Williams a qualifying because you could think of it right now. Devin Williams, he's making 18 million. That qualifying offer, what would that be like 19 million or something like that? Basically the
Yeah,
same thing,
around. I think right
right?
around 20, something like that.
Yeah, around right around the same range. So yeah, why not?
Yep.
And if he signs with somebody else, you get some international money back, or you get a compensation draft pick back.
Yep, and then that could be times two right there. So
Mm-hmm.
Consigliere, what's going on, man? Consigliere's in the house. We are wrapping up, gang. I want to thank you all for coming and joining
Yes,
us. Hector, I want to thank you as always for having
of course,
spending
brother.
some time with us too, man. Appreciate you and love you, bro. And
Love you too, man.
and I will keep you all fed, and so will Hector. When something happens, you're gonna know about it. Here, TikTok, wherever we're at, you'll know about it one way or the other.
Yeah,
One comes in.
and
Go
and
ahead.
one thing I love to say, right, is that Jason, you and I, we don't agree on everything, right? We're never going to agree on anything. I like Digimon. Jason like Pokemon. That's just something that we got to disagree on. Folks in the chat, right? We may not agree on every take when it comes to my takes or your takes or Jason takes. Siciliano in the chat, my man 19 comment. All of us may not agree when it comes to our takes around the team. But one thing we can agree on is that we bleed the pinstripes. We love the New York Yankees. We want to see this team hoist up that championship. We want to see this team come down that canyon of heroes when it comes to that championship parade. We all want to see that. The last time I saw that was 2009. I was going to school at BMCC. I cut school that day because I wanted to see the parade. Shout out to my homies from BMCC that went with me. So all I can say is that if you're a Yankee fan the way that you fan. Just I like to be in respectful places that we can have respectful conversations and still walk away knowing that we love the same team. So shout out to all you guys in the chat. I appreciate you. Jay, I love you, my guy. 19 count, man. I love you too, bro.
Have a great day, everybody. Yeah, we need more Jason Hector. I second that, Carl. I second that, my man.
Yes, we gonna do more. We gonna do more. We gonna do more Jasons and Hector. That's what we gotta do.
By the way, if anybody in here is into running or high school, this is one of the best high school cross country and track coaches in America, right there, Coach Carl. Want to give him his flowers. Got to give him a shout out. Christian Brothers Academy in Lincroft, New Jersey. One of the best in the country, right there. Shout out to you, man. Hector, you're the man. We'll see
Appreciate you, brother.
soon, and we'll see you all soon too. Maybe we'll do a trade deadline predictions a couple days before the trade deadline. How about that?
Yes, sir. How about that?
We'll see if we can get the crew all lined up together. We'll see if we can get that. I'll reach out to everybody, see if we can put that together.
Yeah, Brandon, if you guys want to see me more with Jason, just let Jason know. Jason, anytime you going live in the middle of the day, just like this, shoot me a text, shoot me the invite. I'll be over to join you right after I finish my show, brother.
I'll send the bat signal over, brother.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Everybody have a good day. Hector, you're the man. Talk to y'all later. Go Yankees.
Later.
Let's go. All right.